Hello folks, welcome back for the second time today to Foundry. We've just finished setting up research and I had some plans. I just have to remember what those plans actually were. Okay, let's look at the main bus first. So we do have quite a few robots left, but we're not gonna do robot assembly here. We might do hydro or nautical bots over here. As far as I can remember, nautical are somewhat related to what's already on the bus, although no, I've looked at them at the end of the stream and they're actually not that related. So I might actually do a dedicated station for this and then probably a dedicated station for the assembly lines, or maybe multiple. I want to check if there's still any sort of other robots that I might be able to add to this bus. I don't think so. Let's have a quick look at our build. And yes, we do have a few. We do have the hover engine, we do have the weapon components that we need to build. Weapon components are gonna be tricky. The recipe requires explosives, which is something I do not have automated at this point. Also, you know what? This is something I probably should have done a long time ago. I don't have science drones yet. How much to make? How many? 2 of these? Maybe 4 of these? I just need 4 hover engines. Surely I can not craft this by hand, but I want to speed up or make the research a bit more efficient, not speed it up. So I just need 4 hover engines. And now we go to the bots and we make some science bots. In the meantime, let me make... Oh, I need some glass. Let's grab some glass from the belt. I honestly don't remember. It should say here. Does it require foundation? So it does not require foundation as such, I think. have 4 research servers in range. That's not good. That means that the right hand one was not actually in range. There should be 5. Okay, there we go. More power consumption, but I'm perfectly fine with that. Is there a way to see on the buildings which ones are and aren't in range? Okay, so only the bottom 2 are not in range right now, and I think I can be fine with that. This basically gives us 3% efficiency. More power consumption, but power is, for all intents and purposes, power is not a problem. Okay, I honestly don't know how much space I'm gonna need, but I'll carve up 4 more belts. That basically gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 belts for more resources, and I do think that 8 belts should be more than enough. More than enough for what? I hear you asking. Let's go with this. More than enough buffer so I can actually build something on the right hand side of the bus. How many blocks up? Okay, it's just 2 blocks up. That's a very reasonable amount. Okay, first build that I need to do is to actually set up construction material. Actually, I take it back. First thing I'm gonna do is actually go and resupply my crystals. I think it was this one. Fairly sure it was that one. I would be surprised if I have more than where am I? Okay, I am now looking I'm looking now the right way. I should be able to just follow the power poles. There we go, let's see. Okay, that was a respectable amount of crystals. once I convert, I should definitely have enough to unlock all the technologies. I will need to build a feed system because I don't think I've set that one up. So let's build a Mark III container. And all I have to do now is remember where did I actually build that. Was it over here? I think it's over here. It definitely looks like it's over here, yep. So if I do that, that's not gonna work, but I can use for the first time in this game a filter. And I want to make sure I select just the xenocrystal as output. And now I can make this an output. This should... So let's get rid of this. I will need Mining Force 3 to get those undamaged Xenopower cores, but let's not dwell on that one for now. We'll let that run and get back to setting up my construction materials. So the only thing I don't have on the bus is concrete. At the same time, concrete is produced just somewhere over here, and I'm fairly sure I have excess. Fairly sure I have a lot of excess. I'm trying to think how I'm gonna build this. So this is 5 inputs, so I do need 3 lines in, 3 lines on each side. I'll keep that one for the concrete. Fairly sure that doing even just 2 of these should be more than enough. Okay, and I think that the plan is going to be to just get a lift here. I'm not gonna put that on the actual main bus. But I can definitely hop over. A couple of belts here, and there we go. These were done at scale, but I have a lot of buffer. I think I went a bit over scale, so I should not run into problems. And I really hope I did my research well, which is not a guarantee. That being the fact that I do not have any other sort of uses for the concrete. So it's required to be placed on the bus. Well, if it needs to be placed on the bus, I'll just move it over to a bus lane. Not a big deal. I'll need to pick this in the opposite order. So let's do Thermalite first. I think Thermalite will be the first one. Do I even have enough room? Where's the steel? I'll pick the steel on the other side. I'll just pick the advanced components over here. And for these two, I do think I have enough room. Barely. But, well, barely is enough for me. What else do I need? I need steel and electronic components. And that's gonna be my output. That one's gonna be steel, this one is gonna be electronic components. Obviously one is up, one is down. But there we go. It was as difficult as this. And the first thing I'm gonna do is actually get a shipping pad. Do I want a medium shipping pad? You know what? I think it's time. Not for this. It is time for station upgrades. I'm not upgrading anything right now. Docking facilities. Let's go medium cargo ships. These are going to be extremely expensive, but they're worth the money. And since I'm here, I've done a bit of research and there's only one relevant information as far as I can tell on the planet info, which is, well, jump distance and implicitly fuel cost. As soon as we jump more than 3 nodes, fuel cost is gonna skyrocket. Well, it's gonna go to 140. It's then gonna go to 180, etc. So for now, the plan is to link everything that's within a 3 sector radius, keep our fuel cost down to a minimum. So let's go by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13 small ships. I already have one small cargo ships. How many planetary ships I have? Hopefully enough. So let's start with 5 and set up these planets. Acquire trade license. I have plenty of trade licenses. Let's add a ship. Now, one thing I didn't do is actually look at demands. I think, yeah, this will be... I am expecting to be able to cover most planets with the tier 1 ships at this point. We'll see how things progress. So now I am covering all the sectors. Let's unlock more. Just to double check, we're still in Cat 1. This right now it will still be enough, but I think that long term, yeah, even now it's barely enough. So this will be a T2 ship very soon. This one as well. What? Oh, it's this one. Definitely these two as well. Yep, I cannot reach max, but well, it is what it is. It's good. It is enough for now. One, two, three. I could acquire this one. Yeah, let's go with this. Still Cat 1, okay. Now, at some point, very likely I'm not gonna produce enough bots to sustain this this supply chain that I'm making here. I do have cleaning bots, I believe. Let's see, I'm gonna test if this actually... is sustainable as is now. But assuming it is, okay, first order of business. I kind of want this to be expandable a bit. What now? Oh. Oh. Okay. Small change of plans. I cannot put that one over there. But you know what? That's perfectly fine. I'll heck with extendability. I will just leave some room over here to build. You know what? Let's go here. Transport construction material to the space station. Perfect. And we'll just use the large ships to do that. There's a reason for that splitter over there. You'll see reason in just a second. This works much better when it's connected, obviously. Okay, so that's gonna be the end of docking facilities. I'll queue up just a couple more drone upgrades, maybe 2 or 3 of them. Not enough. Oh, okay, power requirement is actually quite steep. So let's get some more solar panels. I'll wait for the big cargo ship. I'm just trying to remember, it's 315. I don't think I'll have... I will not have enough credits to buy the big spaceship. This is 50k, so this is expensive as is. Medium cargo ship. You're gonna do planetary shipping. Let's rename you to PS6. And the only thing PS6 is gonna transport is construction material. Now I will do one small upgrade, probably the only upgrade I'll do to blue belts, because we're gonna move to green belts, because we're gonna move to blue very soon. Now, out of curiosity, I do want to check how much it costs. How many do I still need? Okay, so this means that I can now go to the space station, go to the galactic market and pause this trade. I should be able to supply everything I need from my base now. I think that this is not volume trade, but cost-wise I will earn more. And right now all I'm interested in is making profits. I want to get rid of the debt, and I want to check. Okay, this is 150,000 Thermalite. That's way too much. Way too much. No point in buying that. This is more than enough. And I just remembered this also requires way more room in the hangar. It's still better ratio. So for this is actually good. The fuel cost is more efficient. And well, let's leave it at that for now. We have construction material. The next thing I want to build is construction industry. For construction industry, I will need steel. So I want to build one more of these. That's 200 steel. I want to build about maybe 5 of these, so 700 in total, and 2 of these, 1.1, with a lot of polymer boards. You know what? Everything I need I can get from over here, from the train station over here. So that's what we're gonna do. Where is the station name? Circuit board. I definitely do need circuit boards. Let's see. I need to clean up my inventory a bit. Polymer board. Polymer board. This one. I'm expecting these ones to be full. And they are. So I should already have one construction warehouse. Somewhere, there it is. I'm gonna make the second one. I'm gonna make one transport ship. And what do I need? More polymer boards and more advanced machinery parts. Unfortunately, the amount of machinery parts I'm storing over here is not great, but it should be enough to give me more transport ships. I said I want to get 2 of these. I think I've already queued one of them. Yep, I have one of them. Let's see. Grab energy cells. How many do I have? I have enough to build way too many of these. Polymer boards, I have enough for 8, way more than I need. I'm gonna grab some circuit boards. I have probably way too much steel. Circuit boards. And let's go grab the machinery parts. it is. I'll probably need all of them. And I need to remember that I want maintenance drones. So, warehouse. Honestly, don't remember. I should have looked at the size. The size is over here. 32 by 21. That is a huge building. And I want to get 2 of them. This will store 25,000 items. I actually did spot the conveyor balancer. I was sure I will look for that one for ages. So what's gonna happen is I'll do a splitter. I actually want to make sure that these things get a somewhat even amount of resources. Let's start stockpiling. And I think I'm okay with even distribution for now. I've just realized that it was getting way too hot in the room. And all of this space here, I think we're gonna use to do the rest of the buildings. The transport ships are big, and I kind of want to have them in the vicinity of the warehouse. Okay, and yep, we have the final upgrade for our flight speed. I don't know how noticeable it is on the stream, but being used to the slow speed I had until now, this actually feels amazing. Maintenance drones, I want to make about maybe 6 of these. Yeah, let's go with 6. Why not? So I want to make 48 maintenance drones. What do I need for maintenance drones? I'm not building them because I don't have hover engines. I need 48 hover engines. Okay. That should be fairly fast to do. Oh, really? There we go. That should be enough to give me Out of curiosity, is there a grab? Do I have a search here? No search, no nothing. I was looking from a grab from machinery. Shortcut? I don't think there is one. Doesn't matter. Advanced components is what I'm missing. This should already be very close to full. No problems there. Out of batteries, okay. We can split. It's not a problem. That's more maintenance drones than I need, so I have one done. That's 23 here, and that is 25 here. 23 plus 25 is 48, actually. I can cancel the hover engines. Whatever, I'll do the max I can. The problem with hover engines is that they have very small stacks. Very, very small stacks. That's okay. I might not have as... Oh, energy cells I have over here. I don't know why I'm struggling with that. So these are small, but they are not that small. A bit unfortunate. I really need to extend my coverage range. It's, I don't know if intentional or not, but definitely annoying the fact that the speed doesn't seem to extend to the build mode drone. It only seems to impact the regular flight. Okay, all of these things actually need power. So my next goal is to get a power connection. Where's the power connection for this one? Oh, Okay, I could get behind that. Nope, that is not close enough. But I think that this one is. Okay, that one has power connection now, and I'll be able to daisy chain all of the construction drones as well. We're not building anything right now. Oh, okay. Not the best way to get power cells, but well, it is what it is. I was able to get some. Out of circuit boards, okay. It's gonna be 100% faster to go grab more circuit boards. We're slowly gathering some construction materials. We want those to buffer up. Let's put them like this. Well, that's awkward. I can still daisy chain that way. I can build a couple more, I guess. 8 there, 8 here. Okay, I think that's it for now. This might already be too many. It's 20. I need a 26 width. No, that doesn't sound right. Okay, the width is 11. I need a 22 width. Oh, really? I'm consuming all the electronic circuits. No, that doesn't sound right. Advanced machinery parts. Oh well. Okay, we can build now. Do we still have resources here? Have I not drained? Let's upgrade. Let's upgrade up to there. I almost counted well. Cool, so this should provide full belt throughput, because right now this one is throttled. Don't want that. 2000 materials, that is quite a bit. And well, we can see our profits are somewhat going down, but at the same time we're making profits, we're making money. We are, I could almost say, printing money. We're gonna be able to get rid of our debt in almost no time now. Okay, that takes care of the hover engines. I'll keep these two here because I don't know what else I might need to build and when. Grid status is not great. I've added 1.2 megawatts here, another 1.5 with this one, so 4.5 megawatts with the ore vein miners. Okay, it is time to expand solar capacity. We need to get solar up and running very not up and running, but extended very fast. Okay, that's working as intended. How am I doing with foundation? That is not as much as I would have hoped, and I'm not too hopeful about how much I've produced in the meantime. Well, let's check it out. For 80 per minute, that's more than the yellow belt can actually throughput. Am I full inventory? Yes, I am. That is much better. Let's upgrade the crusher as well. Do I have any other junk in my inventory? Too many batteries. And we'll keep everything else. More than that, I actually want to get more power lines, more cable. I think I've moved them over here. Yes. Okay, let's go extend power. Let me set this on autopilot, and well, while that's happening, am I going in the right direction? Roughly this way. Our next immediate goal is to set up smelting. The blast furnace is almost done. I'll set up 2 air intakes for now, and we'll do more later. I definitely can do more than this, but let's start with this for now. And I'd have to say I'm not sure I've seen any relevant performance degradation with building a lot of solar. And at this point, that's basically the only reason that might prevent from only using solar. Obviously, we will build some nuclear, at least one power plant, just for the sake of well, seeing how the build works. But given how complex it is and the fact that there's no blueprints, I am a bit skeptic if which one's faster, building nuclear power or building more solar, and cheaper for that matter, given that nuclear power is construction industry. How many do I still have? I have 52. Okay, let's get a 15 by full width and see how much I'll be able to fill. Oh, I actually forgot I have it in my hotbar, so I can check the numbers over there. It is a tedious process. That I will not argue. I think that that's as many as I'm gonna be able to build. Or maybe just one over or something like that. Nope, there was one more row. There we go. I would really like for the red symbols to not go away as long as there's no consumer on the network, because right now it appears like all the solar panels are connected and working, but all of these 3 rows are actually not connected and not working. Only now they are connected and working. Okay, grid stats. We have expanded solar by a huge amount. So Batteries should definitely be able to charge. I do need 40 gigajoules is not enough. I think I need at least about 80. 51 batteries. Let's see how much that gives us. Like, they are doing the checks for the batteries. They are. Now, $1,000,000 question. Can this actually charge? Or do I need to build even more solar panels? Because I believe the problem previously was that the batteries were not being charged over the day. Might be wrong though. And finally, last 3 batteries. So we're pulling 122 megawatts of excess. That's decent. 65 large batteries. I believe that the ratio is meant to be 1 to 3. So I kind of need more batteries. I have the small ones which help quite a bit. The ratio here was overly disproportionate. Well, we'll see as the day progresses. We're now at 38%. We'll keep an eye on it, monitor. For now, the main goal has been achieved. We have expanded our power production. And let's see, we have the air intake base. 2 of them. Blast furnace is at 94%. For some reason I said I'll keep this as my iron base. So let's start building the node for electronic components, I think. You would think that I would learn these names faster, but oh, sorry to disappoint. So I know that it's 7 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would go up to here. I think I'm okay to have this one. Yeah, I think I'm okay to have it closer to here than closer to here. Is that enough? I think that's enough to fit one train. This will be the exit. Okay, I have the signals on me. Just making sure. Yep, those are the signals. This is gonna be the exit. So change signal, change signal. I'm missing the change signal over here and the one over here. Now, why doesn't this change signal actually block? I would be very curious to know. Anyway, I'll build the wireframe first. So this is the exit. We have unlocked air furnaces, the best way to transport anything, but the best way to cast iron and copper. Let's make the one train station to make sure I didn't somehow mess up my counting. So that's the right alignment. That checks out. And I believe that over here I was doing just 8. Oh, this is way closer than it should have been. This is not good. What happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This 7. But yeah, the fact that this needs to connect. Well, let's see the connection. Can I do some change signal magic over here? Should I just rebuild? I'm thinking that I probably should just rebuild at this point. How does this look? Well, first of all, this would look like a very busy space, but at the same time I managed to isolate it quite a bit, so trains coming in here won't directly impact trains. No, these are chain signals. So that one needs to be replaced by a chain signal. How much can I shorten the path? So this will wait about there. I can definitely shorten this by maybe 1 or 2 segments. Maybe even 3 segments. Let's see, if I do this, I can still place the signal over here, and this should still be well within range. I don't think I can shorten this more. This is on the spot. Maybe I could do one more, but let's see what this actually gives me, because I think that right now at least I'm not gonna overlap, which would be the main goal. Any point in having those 2 chain signals over there? No. They are good when I was isolating that from that, I think, but right now they are not useful. It's something. I don't know if something good or bad, but kind of regardless, I'll stick with this, regardless of how good and or bad it is. Right now my entire base is dead, so I need to fix the wiring very fast. I need to see what's happening with that chain signal over there, if it's still good or not. This one is a chain, that one is meant to be a chain. Chain, chain, and I need one here, one here. Not good. This needs to be a chain as well. Okay, a bit tight, but I think we can make this work. Okay, so we finally have access to the hot air stove base, of which I will need 3, heavy caster base, of which I will need 1, and blast furnace, of which I will need 1. And not enough materials. That's good, that's okay. We don't care, let's go craft everything first. Let's make the train station first, actually. Since I'm here, I want to see what else I'm missing, because I'm almost definitely missing some things. I do need to clean up all of this. I'll do the remainder of the cleanup later. Right now, no, that was not good. That was the good one. So for what I'm doing now, I'm gonna need 3 things off here. I am at 17, but okay, let's redo. Something was off. Okay, now that's good. No clue what that was. So when doing this setup, it is fairly convoluted, but look, I like how it looks. It is more efficient, so we're gonna do it. How does this setup work? This setup requires 3 resources, which is either iron or copper, plus ignium, plus what was it? Ignium, ore, mineral rocks, and that's it. 3 inputs. We are actually gonna get 2 outputs. It's not single output. We are going to get the main resource, so iron or ore, and we are going to get slag, which can be turned into cement, and cement will most likely be destroyed. I will make a train station to export it, but most of it will be destroyed. And because of that, we need to make a bare minimum of 5 train stations. I cannot make that many. Let's make however many I can, so I can make 5 of them. Let's see, what do I need here? So I need these guys, definitely. I'll steal some steel, pun intended. I have expanded my Formolite vault capacity enough to actually not run into debt, or not pay over for extra storage. Down to 17%, and it's just gonna keep going down. So let's see, construction industry, not construction industry. We need 3 hot air stoves, 1 of these and 1 of these. Let's do that. 1, 2. Let's get some electronic components. I'm not gonna craft electronic components. I'm out of plates, so let's grab a handful of plates as well. And let's do a recap. I have 3 hot air stoves. I need 2 air intakes, and I think I've crafted those a while back. I have the blast furnace, and I need the caster. Okay, these are the air intakes. Last furnace, did I not make the caster? I was sure I have. Apparently I didn't. Not that big of a deal. Grab some more of these. We have steel. Yeah, it should be right there. It isn't. That means I haven't built one. It should auto sort. Yeah, it should auto sort here. So we have the heavy caster base, we have the hot air stoves. We have some electronic components now. Am I completely out of advanced parts? I have some advanced parts now again. Train stations. Can I build all of them? Yes, I can build 5 train stations with 2, 4, 5, 10 loading bays. Is that level with the train track? Yes, it is. Damn it, I already had to... two stations. Well, you know what? Since I've done this, I might as well go through with it. I'll steal some of the rods for a train station, or maybe even do a double at some point. I am trying to remember, if I remember correctly, I do believe I need ignium, some form of ignium for this, but I am not 100% sure right now. We'll find out. I have learned the hard way that there is a 1 level difference between, like, why would you make a 1 level difference? Just make this the same height. Come on. Anyway, not the point of what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so we are ready to start building. do the prep work first and then figure out the rest. So looking at this, the heavy caster base is 27 square. This is 26 square, so they're off by 1. And the hot air stove is 11 by 17. So I need 33 wide. How much do I have here? 11. I need 22 more. I was looking which direction to expand into. So 22 by... well, it needs to be 22 by a lot. I'll leave a bit of room here just in case, and let's start off not by building but by placing the hot air stoves. Now, first of all, for reference, I'll place this one. I'm trying to remember the correct ratios here. I've built this a few weeks ago and I am not 100% sure I remember them correctly. I think it's like this. Yes. I can still deconstruct this if things will not line up. I did say I want to leave a bit of extra room. I don't know why I'm building like that. So I'll push this, what, 3 spaces, 4 spaces? 4 spaces sounds good. So let's talk a bit how this works. This is obviously very different than the other setups we've had, but the principle is somewhat simple. We have air intakes, which are these things. Actually, first and foremost, I need to get the modular building planner. I usually keep it on 0. I want to bring this into my hotbar. Heavy caster is on 4. Hot air stove is on 2, and blast furnace is over here. Okay, so I think that this is the first time I'm actually doing modular buildings, and it kind of is because I did not build that notepad. So modular buildings, you place down the base, the foundation, which already costs so much. Like if you look at this one, it's 600 steel, 300, 200, 600 concrete. It's a lot. But then you go into config mode. And all of these red dots are attachment points where you can build various things, and different buildings have different types of attachments. Now, I've built this quite a few times. I already know them by heart. We're gonna build at max capacity. I don't really understand who would not build at max capacity any of the modular buildings. But this is the air heater. This is the second part of the puzzle. We're gonna add here, it kind of tells us what we need and what we must build. It tells us that we need at least one power source, tower min 1 max 6. It tells us that the speed is 200% because of the tower parts, and that's why we built all of them. Increase speed. We need the top part, and there's only two other things we need, or three other things. We need the power. We have two power options. One is the burner module, the other one is electric, high voltage grid. We will go with high voltage grid. And over here we can do the pipe attachment, the input, and the pipe attachment output. So regular air comes in through here, gets heated, and gets out. And the way I found best to do the setup is have the pipe input over here at the second level, not the first level, and have the output at the bottom level. Why? You're gonna see that in probably the next 5 to 10 minutes. It's gonna cost us a whooping 7,000 construction material, so it is not cheap. But we'll click start construction. So we've configured the building, we've clicked start construction, we've met all the requirements. It says here how much air in and out, and now airships will start delivering things from our home base. We should see them coming over here very soon. And one thing to remember, like you can kind of see that we have a 3x3 here, we have this block over there, and then another 3x3 here, kind of in the place where we've placed our input and output and grid connection. That's how we know where this is gonna build. Now, I will very quickly do the same build for all three of them. Power, input, and bottom level output. Just checking the construction material. That's how I know I've built everything I needed to build. And in case you're wondering of orientation and whatnot, there is gonna be the image of the robot, so where you are positioned in relation to the building when you started building. There we go. So we have the cargo ships. We've built 2 docks, 8 of them in total. They are delivering material. We can see here one trip is 250. We have 8 ships, so we can deliver 2,000 per full turn. So we need 4 round trips for all the ships. That's a lot of construction material. Okay, what I'm gonna do now, because to be honest, I don't fully remember the position of the hot air intakes, of the air intakes. But basically I know that the air intake just sucks air from outside. We pipe it into the heaters. We then use the hot air to smelt the iron mixture. And then we use this one to just cast it into whatever material we want, either plates or rods. We could use the regular smelters at that point, or no, casters, but it requires way too many casters. This is just one single building. It is just much easier to set up, and it looks better. I think that this building was added in one of the last patches. What am I looking for? I'm looking for liquid handling. We have pipe. On top of pipes, we also have pipelines. I haven't shown them before. They're basically the equivalent of pipes, just bigger. And in this scenario, bigger means more throughput. They have the exact same shapes, connections as the regular pipes, but you can see I am building off the blocks, and this I could actually set up in multiple ways, but I could put the full for the full 6 side pipe here, but I think I like this this setup a bit better, and that setup goes like this. Now I am fairly sure that the pipe goes, actually let me get, I know that I'm coming down and then I'm connecting somewhere, but I don't really remember where the connection is. What I know, let's build one of these. I want to see how it's gonna look. So this is the hot air intake. We build vents. The vents are more vents, more air throughput, so the speed increases. Obviously this will increase the power consumption, goes without saying. Now this is where it's very important to actually remember where my bot is, because there is a utility panel. So everything else is a vent. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this for nothing because I'm gonna cancel it. Yes, the bounds of the final building are blocked by other objects. That means I cannot have the pipe there. Or is it this one? No. I'm pretty sure that this alignment is good, but I need to be... Here I left just one space. I think for this one I need to leave 2 spaces. And if I go here, utility panel, there we go. If I put the vents over here, they're not gonna collide with the building, and I need a minimum of 2 vents. I'm gonna max everything out. So now we can remove this one. And that's because the pipe over here goes 2 spaces out. That's why. I could go 1 space further in. I think that will align slightly better. Yeah, you know what? I'll keep this recipe. So this is gonna be the utility panel, everything else vent. Really? Did I put it? So one last thing I could do over here is to actually center this over like this. Do I want to center it like this? You know what? Let's try something new. There's has been no material delivered yet. That's why I started construction on those two beforehand. Okay. I should be able to build everything now. It did take a bit of fiddling around to actually find the best layout for these things, but I came to something I'm quite happy with. And you can kind of see even from here that it's actually one row, two rows of things. Now, this one for some reason doesn't have the proper 3x3, but you can kind of see where the center is, and I do believe that the center is where this all fits together. So like this. Instead of a 3x3, it's a 5x5, but again, it's the same principle. So we'll get hot air from here. I'll figure out oh, we've already built one of them. No grid connection. I'll sort that out in just a second. They will not start to drain power until I actually connect them to the grid and turn them on. There is an actual turn on button. Okay, that one can connect. These two have a very weird connection point. Let's keep it like this for now. We need to drag power over here. Can this connect? Actually, this one is extra just for nice cable routing. Yeah, you can see that this one is disabled. It will draw 5 megawatts. This building has actually a very specific property, and I think this is the only building in the game similar to the nuclear power plants in Factorio. They have neighboring bonus, where basically you get reduced power consumption by 25% if you have adjacent buildings of the same type. So this will actually in the end consume 50% less power, and the two on the outside will consume 25% less power. Okay, this is being built. Let's see how the building progression is going. We're probably low on materials, I would assume by this point, because we're not producing anywhere close to as much as I'd need. We have conveyor 5. For conveyor 5 we need rubber. I do not have rubber. I might actually consider just buying rubber for now to kick off production. Cool. We now get to the other side of the build. An unfortunate consequence of not having Sina towers is that I am now out of stuff. Let's go grab more. I could recycle this tower, but actually, what are the odds that I still have some Xeno crystals here, because I do have scrap, which means I can build towers. But we can research, I think, everything now. I don't think I even queued up Mining Force 2. Doesn't matter. We will get Mining Force, we will go hunting for some power cores. But how am I doing with crystals? I don't want to consume it. Yeah, there's still 1000 plus left. I definitely not gonna consume everything. I already have more than I need. Can I collapse? No, I cannot collapse the previous ones. So until I get mining power, I cannot research this one. But, well, I'm not sure I want to research that one right now. Since I'm here, I'm gonna go do the quick resupply route. We can build a lot of all of those now because we have them all automated. If I'm missing things, it's not immediately visible. It would have been good to check how am I doing with construction material. Surely I had more firm light. Anyway, doesn't matter. Maybe something like this. Now, this one is a bit tricky to place. And that is because the pipes don't properly align. If I want to make them properly align, I have to build very off-center. Would that be that bad though? I don't think that would be that bad. I kind of remember there was a reason I wanted to keep it more centered. I'll keep it centered, and I will build if I'm not mistaken, it needs to be 5 apart because this one sticks out by 1. So what I need to do at the end of the day is I need to be able to put 2 the junctions over here. once that one, once that one. The rest of the connection is pretty standard. This is not good. It needs to be one further back. Very quick trick I thought of to be able to align is you just put one block there, and now if you go too far back you're gonna run into that block because it's almost impossible to see at the back where things are. There was a reason why, I don't remember the reason, but I remember that I need the stairs to be on the bottom left. We're gonna find the reason out in just a second. This building, we don't have that many options on how we're building, so this is a mandatory one. We can build a couple of towers, and all of these towers will increase the hot air consumption but also the speed, and we do want max speed. We have the hopper, we're gonna have the hopper top, and finally the flare stack. Now all we need to do is connections, and for some I think that there's a misconfiguration, or I don't have something I don't fully understand, but at the top here, this is where we input our resources, and we'll actually have 4 conveyor inputs. We'll get to that in just a second. And now we want to look at input. So we need a pipeline for input. This will be our hot air input, which is off center to the building. That's why I was saying that we would need to shift the building off by a bit. But basically this is the input here, input here, and for output we'll have the pipeline attachment for output, and for some reason we need a bare minimum of 2 pipes of output. Top level here are only pipelines, bottom level are regular pipes. 1 pipe I understand what's for, second pipe I don't fully understand what's for, and I just saw that bounds of the final building are blocked by other objects. That means that it's not just one space, that means that it is very likely 2 spaces. And this will not sit perfectly centered. I have 4 rows there, but it's just even versus odd. Nothing that can be done about it. Now, okay, we do not get that warning message anymore. Pipeline output, pipe output. I can keep the pipe output here as well, doesn't really matter. The rest of the building is very standard, and yeah, it was 1 space apart. This costs a whooping 22,000. It's just absurd, but we have the material, we'll be able to build everything, not a big problem. We are almost halfway through this one. We can now delete that, and we can actually, I'll do the L. And now that the L's are done, I can run out of pipes. Sure, that's an option. I'm one pipe short. I will need more because I do need to connect the final building, so that means I'm low on steel. Lovely. Just lovely. And yep, we can see this one actually matches perfectly. And it is just one out, which means I actually put my reference block off by one. The math was correct. This one, if you look at the very bottom of the screen now, there's 3 dark color slots. That's the output, and well, that's the output. The other side is gonna be the input. I need a few more. That's way too much, but it is what it is. Now, I do not remember at all how the connection here works. And because of that, I'm gonna be on the safe side. So I know that we're 1 out here. I need 3 minimum for the I need 3 minimum for the pipe, 1 for the connection minimum. I'll do 2 extra, 3 extra, and I'll place it over here. Just because for this one I don't remember how this connection was made. Cool, that is that. So I am at the output part. So the casting module, this is the output module, and this is the input module, which is just a single centered pipe. Maybe I was a bit cheap, finally, a cheap construction. Okay, that's the output. Now, what I'm gonna be doing is we're actually gonna build on top of these buildings. Does this match? Yes, this actually matches. So this could technically be three blocks shorter. No, that needs to be there. And there has been nothing built here just yet, so we can do stop construction and just rebuild this. And again, we can even off-center. Off-center it a bit and it would still be good enough. Yep, perfect fit. Let's make sure that it's actually a perfect fit. Now, this is a weird one, because if I need to also go down, I will not have the room. kind of doubt it. I would assume that they would keep things at the same level, but it's weird that there's these three things over here. That might actually be the power connection. I know that all of these buildings actually require a power connection, dedicated power connection, so actually no, minus that one. That one does not require a power connection. So this will go somewhere there. This doesn't require power connection. Okay, we've built, I think, cost-wise almost half by now. And this is why I've built so many construction industry things. 2000 here, construction progress 0. 0 with 0, and well, this is gonna be the big one. But very importantly, now, if these antennas would be just 2 blocks lower, everything would be so nice. However, they are not 2 blocks lower, which turns them into a royal pain. I think we build up to there, if I'm not mistaken. So I want to connect the power grid, and I'll actually really. Sure, whatever. Let's run it. Can I run it through somewhere that's not that visible? There we go. I'm not gonna need that much grid power, but I think I still had one of these, one small transformer. Let's use the small transformer. Five megawatts should be more than enough. Let's wire a few of the things that can be wired. So this is wired over here. That means the other one will be wired in a different place. And my assumption was wrong. I am off by 1. But at least I'm not off on the sides. So that's built. Once materials are delivered, the construction drones actually do build extremely fast. So this is disabled. This is gonna be 16-17 megawatts of power. I don't have neighboring bonus right now. This would normally be 30 megawatts, but I'll basically get 100% reduction on one of them because it's 50 middle, 25 sides. That's 100 total, so this will be 20 megawatts of power plus the 18 here. $48 plus whatever. Does it say how much power this drains? Heavy caster is just 2 megawatts, so it's a total of 40 megawatts of power drainage. That's a lot. That is a lot. No active research. No active research is not good. Something's off. Something is very off. Is it here now? Maybe I've missed it. Yes, it would it be here now? It's not there. It's not there. I am looking for the. Oh, there it is. Cooked ignium. Cooked ignium. Cooked. Yes, that's the word. Because we need cooked ignium as well in order to get this whole thing going. And right now I do not remember the ratios. I've just realized one very neat way to make sure that I am aligned with something. Instead of dragging building blocks up and down, I can just use the lift. I don't know how I haven't realized this sooner. Okay, and I can see that that's off by 1. There's more than enough room here. I don't even need to fully optimize the space. I will, but I don't need to. That is still 2 more. I am quite happy with this realization. Okay, so over here we will build. We will prepare the resources. Now, does it show anywhere? What we need to get is molten molten technum. We do have an alt recipe using xenocrystals to basically make more xenoferrite ore. Xenocrystals are inherently infinite, which I guess that's a 33% increase. So that's 1.3 times 1.5. Which is still a lower ratio minus the ignium ore, but it's still a lower ratio than the 2 that we get here. We're also throwing away cement, which is, I guess it is a downside. But do we actually get that recipe anywhere? I just want to have a look at it. I know that I need cooked ignium. I know that I need gravel, I believe. And I know that I need the purified, the crushed ore. I do not know the ratios. And that's kind of what I am going to try to find out. So I will switch. I've realized that the game actually does have a wiki. but it's a very bad wiki on the other hand. So let's have a quick look. Did I miss the recipe? It shouldn't be there by any means. Yeah, it is. I don't know where it is. I'll just Google it. And it was the blast furnace page. The blast furnace page has all the relevant ratios. So we do need a full blue belt of ore, half a belt of coked ignium, and 256 mineral rocks. The output is gonna be 11,500 liters of molten metal, and that basically produces 3.8k items per minute. So it's basically a 1 to 3 ratio. Okay, I really hope the wiki is up to date, because it doesn't mention the new machine. But okay, we know that we need to smelt a full blue belt, where a blue belt is 1280. Of technum ore. And I need to divide that by 80, so 1280 divided by 80 is 16 machines. I cannot do a single line of 16 machines, so as such I'll do 2 lines of 8. Can I actually build 16? There are crushers, yes. So I remember I can leave a bit of a room here to manage the resources, manage the belts. Let's start with this. I might have to rebuild at some point, but this looks decent enough to me. So because these are just 2 slots, I cannot actually use just 2 lines. I'll need 3 lines. So I'll leave 5 spaces in the middle. Okay, we'll do the lift over here. So this is going, I'll need to upgrade obviously. Let's land while I'm building. So these are going to be the 2 input lanes, and should be able to have a single out lane that will connect over there. So let's see, we'll do input over here. I'll need to offset the inputs, so the input for this one will be over here. And I'll do outputs like this. And if I've set everything properly, they will properly output onto the center belt. Indeed, that looks good. Let's have a look at cooked ignium. What does cooked ignium require? First of all, it requires advanced smelters. Okay, it requires 256 mineral rocks, so the mineral rocks are gonna be a simple pass-through. So let's maybe put that like that. I still have blast furnaces, so I need 640. A blast? No, not blast. They are called advanced smelters. I don't know why I said blast furnaces. It is late. Now, this will do 40 per minute, and I need 640. Yeah, it's 16 of them, so I need 8 and 8. I could try to squish the 8th in there, but I feel a bit more comfortable squishing it over here. I will make this the output. And we'll make this the input. I'm out of loaders. That's not great. We can now do mining force 2, which is actually good. So let's set up outputs first. Am I outputting on the right belt? I am outputting on the right belt. I am inputting from the right belt as well. Just 2 more I needed. Iron. I do have iron very close to me, but I'll need to fly there. Is this a random train? That is a random train. I should probably look at getting that train out of there. I was wondering what I'm doing there, then I realized it is just glass. How are we progressing? Yikes. Just 1k. I am definitely out of building materials. And I am out of building materials on the space station as well. I should probably go re-enable buying. Oi, no bueno. I am losing. How much money am I losing actually? Okay, it's nothing. Tax that is way more expensive than that. Still, I don't like losing money. that I shouldn't be losing. Tax that down almost 25%. Resume this because I'm very out of construction material. We already have an input there, so I need to have an input over here. And finally the output. So when this is done, we should be able to just turn it on. Just figure of speech. We need belts. We need to actually bring resources here. But in theory, I should be able to go right over here. I think I have enough clearance. Do I have enough clearance? I do not have enough clearance. Do I move them? Do I move them one space further? I think I'll move them one space further. This is this. Yep, that looks correct. I really cannot tell. Well, I can tell that that's not correct. That's better. Okay, that is correct now. Will that cause other conflicts? I really hope not. This is an input, not an output. Inserter is configured properly. And belt can be run through here. Okay, that's good. So I have a confirmation that this works. I can build the rest of them now. Obviously, I need to build the lifts and, well, everything. So let's make it in the order of the belts. Okay, so I'll do ignium first. Will this line up? I think this lines up exactly as it's meant to. That's the problem with building too close. I don't think I needed to build this close, but I have. Doesn't matter. This belt is wrong as well. This belt is correct. Okay, so this is gonna be ignium or ignium rubble, I think. U2. How do I name this? Just copper one. Sure. So this whole area is gonna be CC1. This is gonna be the ignium unload. What? Question mark? What's happening here? Is it broken? No. Is that one not okay? That was so weird. For some reason that one was bugged. I think it's mineral rocks, the other one. Mineral rocks, yes, indeed. And I'm just gonna check the name. It is rubble, the raw resource. And these are gonna be loading stations. Since I'm here, I'm gonna do the outputs, and then I'm gonna go under the train stations to finish everything. It will very likely be much faster. Okay, part 1 complete. Part 1 of many. Let's get this train. Do I have a loading station? You know what? I'll just reuse that for now. We'll drain it, we'll make more train stations, everybody's gonna be happy. Wait full, wait empty. Apply autopilot. So this should use the bypass now. Yep, it is indeed using the bypass. All the way through here. And head into this train station. It is blocking quite a bit of road. But, well, it is what it is. And yeah, we should be able to extend over here later on. Now, I could be very cheeky and just do this mineral deposit. How is this Technum deposit holding on? I have successfully put off on doing raw resource train stations for a long time. Maybe I can do it just a bit more. Am I not even... I'm not even tapping this deposit. Okay, for some reason I thought I was tapping this deposit in this train station, but no. And because of that, obviously we will tap this deposit. That's probably gonna be the last thing I'm gonna be doing for tonight though. Because I am actively forgetting what I'm trying to do. Really? What? Oh. Sure, let's go with this. Where was the deposit? Just making sure I still have enough of a clearance. I think I do. I might have too much of a clearance. Now, if I want to be really smart, I would put this one this level. Yes, at this level. Top bit, but at that level, because this should now be able to connect straight into that lift. Was it 56? No, it was 54. So I'll let this one dig. In the meantime, let's drag a power source. And let's make one transformer. And let's test out the belt connection. Seems to be okay. Okay, ignium is done. That would be the wrong way to do things. It is this one, right? Yes, it's this one. How are we progressing? Or question mark, are we progressing? Extremely slow. And because it's gonna take a while to dig to 56, I will head back to my main base. How is this doing? We've built some buffer. That's nice. So I'll stop sending construction material to the space station. Direction from station to pad. Are you kidding me? Well, shut down, set energy inventory. Can I pick this? From the factory to the space station. It is very concerning that... Okay, what's happening here? Why are you not producing? My Technum ore deposit finally ran dry. I should have expected something like that to happen, I guess. And I should have had a backup plan, I guess. But, well, here we are. Research doesn't really matter much at this point. I'll put that off for later. Because I think I'm not gonna bring Technomore back to the base anymore. I'll decommission everything. I'll just bring the rods and the copper once this is done. That is, however, a problem. As I was saying, I am getting quite tired. I should have realized this sooner, that reset space station to factory. Confirm. So I will continue stealing resources from the space station. There it is. How many do I need? 6, so I need to make 3 belts. Let's re-enable this one and manage inventory. I should have some construction material. Really, I cannot do that? Okay, that's literally everything I have. This will not work, so I am actually gonna I'll do this. So I'll use the small ships to transport, and spaceships, I'll assign the medium cargo ships to recurring market orders. I should still have enough planetary shipping for everything else. Money is not gonna pour in anymore because almost all my robots are dependent on the batteries were full, draining at 50 something megawatts. What is it? It's just 9 o'clock. I think I am underproducing batteries. I don't have enough batteries, let's phrase it that way. So we should have had a bit more delivered, but it's just like 1000 more. Not enough. We'll buy more to get that sorted out. The deposit was this way, right? Yes. And it looks like a big deposit. I'm hoping at least 1 to 2k, if not more. Total length 17. I think it's this way. I'm fairly sure it's this way. Yep, this way indeed. Let's get this one down. Build a bit of a platform and start dragging rails. Yep, that should be enough. And really, I'm out of rails. I didn't see that one coming. Okay, looking good. That's all my rails. How big? 2 million. Okay. That is a lovely deposit. Okay, we are all set. I think the drones are fast enough now to be worth the extra couple of seconds to clean up the deposit. I actually have a good idea, visual good idea on what we're working with. Cool. We have cleaned everything. Yes, we did. Okay. So next will be to get mineral rocks on the train. I'll do it over here, so very fast shipping. And we already have a belt that goes what? Oh, I think I just had a train that left. Am I consuming that much glass? I would have expected this to be full. Or fuller, I should say. We have started delivering a bit more resources, but yeah. Maybe I'll drag just another... How is this deposit doing? So that copper should hold us for a very long time. Especially given how we're gonna take more and more. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot as well. We're gonna take more and more mining productivity researches very soon, and that's gonna substantially increase the lifespan of our deposits. Now, unfortunately, even setting this one up is not gonna sort out my base bottleneck problem, which is the construction materials. I'll have to probably buy more on the space station or do some sort of temporary build to bring copper back into the main base. I know I said I'm not gonna do this, but well, as you can see, where am I belting them from? Where's the belt? Is that one of the belts that I took all the way up? Indeed it is. I cannot build lifts anymore, so... maybe like something like over there. Let's go into flight mode. Okay, that's good. This way. So let's kind of say that we've sorted out mineral rocks. I am mining on 2 belts, so I should be able to extract 2 full belts out of there. This is gonna fill up very slowly, and I do not have trains left. But what do I need to build trains? I need steel. Where am I producing steel? I'm producing steel right over here. Let's go to the source. And with this I can actually check the health of my steel, because I've built this quite a while ago. I haven't checked it since. These are the unloads. Okay, okay, this is basically full. Nothing to worry about. I will cancel my station upgrades. All of my station upgrades. I will hold on to the money because the money is going to slow down, I think. It's still 140, which is... I'm probably still running on stockpile. So this deposit should last quite a while. This is a very big deposit. All we need to do now is actually get enough materials to build this. After we've built, we will unblock the main base and get construction materials back. I am wondering if I actually need to ship ore, because I need 18k more. 18k means 180,000. I almost have all the money, but I'm buying 200 at a time, or 500 at 10 minutes. That's gonna take forever. survive 800 at 20 minutes round time. Yeah, that's not a good idea. So I'll start off tomorrow by repurposing a train station to be a supplier. We'll deliver to the main base so we can actually produce something. As little as it is still better than nothing. Or alternatively, we might... No, this is still producing at... Actually, it is stockpiling. If this is stockpiling... If this is stockpiling, I can run a belt. Not gonna be very pretty, but it will work. Where can I connect this belt? This belt needs to be connected. Do I just connect it up here now? Might be easiest to connect up here, actually. So it's this one that's dead. So what does it mean if I haven't connected down here? This one, what does this one supply? This one doesn't supply anything. This is just excess. This one supplies my belt production. I still have some belt. This is gonna be dead, but I can live with that. And this one supplies my science production, which is, again, I can live with for now. There's nothing critical, but this means that I will get output priority, please. Okay, we are once more crafting, and it's not even that big of a throughput. The thermalite is huge, but everything else is decent throughput. Okay, so we should be, what, 200, 400 per minute versus 800 at 20 minutes. Quite a big of a difference, and it was ugly. Extremely ugly, but well, it works. And I will say over here output priority to the left, and that should actually kick off my economy as well. And with that, I think there's a lot more to fix on the base. Obviously, there's always a lot more to fix on the base. Those two belts are being shared, so it is okay. We'll work on doing a smelting setup here, or crafting setup for cables. But yeah, hopefully now this will built at a faster pace. This has very little, very small requirements, so nothing to worry about there. We need to do the slag, we need to do the copper processing, but all of that is going to be in the next episode. Now this one, items on the what am I missing? Oops. It's ignium ore, not ignium rubble. I'll have to remember to fix this. So I'll end the game here regardless. We have enough room to move this a bit further. We have enough room over here to process if necessary. I completely missed that it's ignium ore, not ignium ore rubble. Oh well, it is what it is. We live, we learn, we progress. That being said, hope you've enjoyed this one. Let's end with a nice overview of our latest addition to the base, or almost latest addition to the base. We'll work on completing this next stream. For this one, thank you all very much for watching. Have a great evening, day, morning, wherever you might be. See you here next time.